So welcome back to Healthy by George. This is MC. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the like thumb, and the bell, and you'll never miss an episode. They come out Sundays and Thursdays, and I hope they're helping you as much as they help me. And today we're going to talk about something quite unusual called the emotional freedom technique, or something people call tapping. Welcome to Healthy by George. I want you to know that this is for informational purposes only, and it should not be considered as medical advice, nor does it have anything related to my employer. So it's always best for you to check with your own medical provider before you do anything that I recommend or for any medical treatments. So please join me, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. So, emotional freedom technique, what is that? So, the emotional freedom technique is really what we call an energy psychology. This is where we're really channeling into this concept of something combining psychological kind of behavior modification with Chinese medicine. Because what they do in the emotional freedom technique is they use tapping in certain areas of the body to basically allow you to cope or manage or come to grips with whatever it is that's challenging you. Now, we don't have a lot of scientific research on this, but we do have enough to show that this energy psychology has great validity. It has helped people. It's helped people who have anxiety, helped people with post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's helped people with just general stress. It's helped people with all kinds of problems with chronic pain or just general kind of self-acceptance. So what is emotional freedom technique? Basically, it's taking fingers and tapping on areas that align with meridians in the Chinese medicine process. And these meridians typically are the eyebrows, then the side of your eye, under your nose, under your chin, beginning at the collarbone, under your arm, you can do one or the other, and then the side of your hand, or they call it the chop, the chopping hand. So what is emotional technique supposed to do? Well, what it really does is it restores your sense of maybe awareness and your energy around what it is that you're challenged with. And typically what you do is you use a phrase. You use a phrase that says, I am willing to understand more about this, or I'm willing to do more to understand and accept whatever your challenges are. And so what you do is you basically will tap these areas as you say a phrase that you really do believe. Like, I'm willing to understand my chronic pain in my knees. I'm willing to understand the chronic pain in my body. I'm willing to understand and accept, whatever it is that you're challenged with by tapping these certain areas of your body and doing it in a systematic way. And for some reason, I think what happens is it brings forth a greater understanding of what's called acceptance therapy. We're really working with people that, sometimes if you have a chronic pain condition, or maybe you do suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome, or you do have anxiety, or just maybe you have a stressful job. Sometimes we need certain techniques that help us take all of those feelings that were inside and so internal or in our thoughts, and it brings it out. And it also helps probably regulate what's called qi in the Chinese medicine, which is sort of that flow of energy that runs through us. And in Chinese medicine, qi, that's exactly what it is. It's an energetic force that runs through us. this tapping technique is something that sort of allows that flow to continue, that it clears the blockages. It allows yourself to kind of release whatever it is that is seeming to be a problem. And some people, it can just be a stress, a phobia. It can be negative beliefs about yourself. It can be so many things, and that it's super simple in that you're tapping the top of your eyebrows, the sides of your eyes, underneath your eyes, beneath your nose, beneath your chin, at your collarbone, under your arms, and then on the side of your hand. You can do both hands. You can just do one if you'd like. And while you're doing the tapping, you're using a statement. It can be a simple statement where you're basically saying, I know that X is so, and that I'm willing to understand it. I'm willing to accept it. I'm willing to release it. I'm willing to see it differently. You can choose so many things. I know that when I've used tapping, it's typically for stress. So often we have stress throughout the day, and it just gets you, especially if it's a conflict and you walked away from a meeting or situation where you weren't happy with the outcome, and yet you're going to have to deal with it. I've done it. I've gone into the bathroom. I've sat in the bathroom and done some tapping. I understand that this is not going the way that I'd like. I am willing to see this differently. I am willing to understand that these feelings are not going to stay with me. You can just really use the tapping to allow yourself to release this negative energy, to release whatever feels pent up, and helps you reframe perhaps how you're feeling about something, whether it's a stressor, whether it's an anxiety, whether it's pain. In the moment, it gives you a simple tool called tapping. And the meridians are very valid. The side of the hand in Chinese is about a small intestine's meridian. The top of your head is another area if you want to tap the top of your head. I don't normally think of tapping the top of my head. The bladder meridian is the one above the eyebrow. And then the other ones below that are all correlate to our wonderful Chinese medicine, which is so different from Western medicine. So if you want to try this, there's tons of resources in the internet. You can just Google emotional freedom technique, and you'll see many videos that'll demonstrate this. They will also give you some ideas about the mantra or the statement that you can do it with. And I suggest that you try it, especially if you're struggling with something. If you're struggling with stress, or you're struggling with a challenge, you're struggling with a phobia, you're struggling with post-traumatic stress syndrome, even if you're struggling with feeling of anxiety or overwhelm or negativity about yourself, easily use the emotional freedom technique or tapping to help yourself. It's easy, it's simple. Yes, it can feel silly. I know sometimes when I've told people about it, I've told them, I said, listen, I have this very unusual way of tapping that you could try. And I know it sounds silly, but we are energetic beings. That's the key. That is who we are, energetic beings. And so when you want to do something that's different, try this. See if tapping will help for you. And so I can't wait to see you again at our next episode, where we're going to have my brother, Noel George, join me in a discussion about cardiovascular health and women. I think many women don't really understand our cardiovascular health, and I think we're going to have a great discussion. So don't forget, subscribe, hit the like button, and come back here every Sunday and Thursday. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift. and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.